Goedemiddag, we zullen gewoon beginnen. De ervaring leert is dat een aantal mensen wel binnen zullen lopen in de komende paar minuten. Dan wordt het wat rustiger. Maar het is toch wel volgens mij, er zijn twee hoogtepunten. Ik weet niet of ik daardoor mensen voor de voeten stoot of zoiets. Maar vanochtend was voor mij een zeer groot hoogtepunt. En dit is voor mij in ieder geval het tweede hoogtepunt. Google vond ik wel, daar hou ik wel van. Anyway. Eerste keer, ik moest 3 dingen modereren vandaag. De eerste keer hebben we 100 vragen met de zaal gedeeld. Daarnet ging het eigenlijk allemaal vanzelf. Hopelijk hoort u mij vandaag helemaal niet. Dat bijna niet. Voor je toch dat wil weten, ik ben Jake Blok. Maar ik wil graag de vloer geven aan Mark Hansen van Lego. En he'll introduce himself, of course. Mark, thank you.
Thank you. Everybody here? Thank you. My name is Mark Hansen. I work for a Lego company. I'm a director in business development. It's an area in Lego where we've got a lot of exciting projects going on right now. Where for the last couple of years we've really been working intensely with getting closer to the consumer. Getting closer in ways that we want them to be involved in product development. We want them to be involved in marketing, sales, and actually designing the products to sell. When I say this, and being very involved now, it has been a very, very long process. I've been with the company since about '99, and I don't know how any presentation here?
Sure.
So I just,
I think it's, do you prefer to do?
Yeah, that's fine. What I'll do is, I just want to go through a little bit here today. Why do we co-create? How do we do it? And why do we do it? So it's kind of, it's a story, pretty much put together. There's nothing fancy about it. There's a lot of companies out there doing it, but I think Lego is probably in front of most of them that are out there. And it's kind of unique because we actually made a physical product. It's not about making software. We can prove we can do that too within Mindstorms. I don't know how many of you know about Mindstorms. What Mindstorms is robotics and software. We just released a new version. Fans have been very much involved in it from the very beginning. And that network, all the way to launch, has grown from 4 people, and I'll show you an example of it, up to many hundreds. And it has been a success. The product is out in the market, the product works. And it gets just as much critique as it did if it didn't have them involved. And it's quite a unique experience to see when you bring the fans or the consumer into the company. And just to see from the start when people are negative trying to push out, say, why do we want consumers into the company, to when you see something successful launched out on the street. So that's one team, one project. But then I work a lot with Lego Factory. The Lego Factory is quite a new, what we say, project where we start saying we want to move from a position of marketing to the consumer, and we want to involve moving to marketing with the consumer. And that's pretty much where we're at a little more, but then we kind of go consumer co-marketing, consumer co-developed, and then we go to consumer developed, meaning that consumers develop our products. It's not just Lego. It's not just Lego designed and Lego puts onto the shelf. We want all these different levels to be supported by the consumers, and we'll do variations all the way through. So we haven't locked one out or the other. We'll always have mass produced, and we'll have designers in the company that do products and put them out. But enabling the consumer to do more and more is becoming the trend, and technology is allowing us to do this. So the story that we got to tell started off with a product called Lego Mosaic. I don't know how many can see that, or if anybody has actually even ordered one here. Back in '99, it's pretty much a pixel project. It's 5 colors, black, white, 3 shades of gray. You take a picture, you pixelize it into Lego bricks, you build the product. It's not a specific Lego product, but it also showed inside the company that we can customize some data in order to drive that through a company. And I gotta remember back in '99, 2000, what was it, that era, the bubble of .com. How do we make this customized product go through this company, which was back then called brick and mortar pretty much, and to get people to see that there's market, and to change stock systems, manufacturing systems, shipping systems, all that stuff that needed to be out of a simple product like this that was completely different than a product that was put onto a shelf. So this is what the story is about. Then we kind of moved into my own train, and I was about making a train of over 80 different variations. And that's another one that kind of challenged. We got people to think even more within the company. You got to remember, here it is, one lonely person that kind of comes into the company and says, hey, I got an idea about mass customization. Lego is a great thing. Joe Pine writes a book that says mass customization in Lego is the perfect. When you look at the product to do mass customization, look at other people who wrote about mass customization, they use Lego. And this is the words that were brought into Lego to say, hey, we should do mass customization. We should try and do this. Why do you want to mass customize? That's what every executive in the company in 99, 2000 asked. Why do we want to mass customize when people are buying our products off the shelf? Why would an 8-year-old child want to mass customize when he probably doesn't know what he wants? Well, that's what the story is trying to bend is why do you want to have an 8-year-old create another product for Lego? We know what the 8-year-old child wants. So we set out on a little bit of a destiny thing and saying, okay, if that's true, we can go out, and in 2002, my own creation, this was designed by Daniel Siskins. It's a belt fan, it's not an 8-year-old. But what it did is that it also opened up thinking in the company that, hey, there is products out there that consumers will still buy. This product was actually on the shelf until last year. So it had a very long life cycle compared from when you look at 2002 to 2005, 6. And it was designed 100% outside the company. We put it into a box, we put it onto a shelf, we paid a royalty to the person. And it just proved inside the company how we handle a product like that, and that it will sell. That there is consumers out there that will buy other models other than designed by Lego. And so it was quite a win psychologically for management and for the people that do it. When we did this, and the projects that were here, we said, how are we going to get 8-year-olds to design and to develop? How are we going to get the assets that we need in order to manufacture and get into a box and get it out to people? We need a platform, we need a toolbox to work with. And that's where e.day, which is Lego Digital Designer, and it's a software that allows you to design products. It allows you to design Lego products with connectivity, you can rotate the wheels, it has everything in it. And I don't know how many of you have actually looked at it. Lego Factory, isn't it great? It is something that e.day is a software that's going to be evolving for the next many years. There's many things going to be coming with it. It has allowed us to actually go into, right now it looks like a very simple application, but it's not. It goes all the way back into how we actually number every individual brick. How we've manufactured in the company before, and how we do today, we manufacture product numbers. Our great numbers. We have probably around 600 to 1,000 product numbers within Lego. But when we go back to this, back to the element, and what product numbers we have within e.day, you're looking at about 13,000 to 15,000 elements. That's 15,000 product numbers when you look at it. So what do you think the finance department says when you start saying, hey, we got 15,000 products, and when SAP has to carry these, they start to flip out. And this is exactly what happens when you open up to co-development. It is critical issues right there. How are you going to handle it? And it's exactly what kills, because a square box, that's where all the financial guys and all the little hard directors and the managers and the marketing managers that learn inside the box without thinking outside the box. That's where those guys sit. And you got to convince them. Why does it make sense to work co-development outside to the communities? And I think you've seen a lot of experience here. But even here, you see at many other conferences, you see examples of co-creation, and the hurdles that you have to jump through to get them to see this is why that we can make things work. Technology is there to be able to do it, but it's just getting the business people to see why we need to do it. And every company has got a different reason why they want to co-create. Lego, we've got to get down to the kids. We've got to be able to get down. That is our mass market. Right now, we're at pretty much an adult level, but more and more kids are joining, more and more kids can see the reality. And we have to fulfill that why. Why do we want to mass customize? To give that greatest Lego play experience on the floor. And if any of you got kids in here, you probably know Lego, you probably buy But I'll guarantee you buy a Nokia telephone, you buy a PlayStation, you buy an Xbox. That's our competitor. It's not Mattel, it's not Hasbro anymore. It is those companies right there. And it's not meaning that we just have to have a virtual brick, but we have to have a virtual physical connection. And to me, that's why we have to customize. If we're going to continue to give top play experiences to kids in the future, we have to be able to combine them together and make sure we can do it. And when you start connecting technology to it, it's about giving a co-creation experience. So that kind of comes to why. What we did then in 2004, we launched a competition called Lego Factoring. And it kicked off the whole thinking of co-creation. It was a competition that ran for about 11 weeks from November to March, between November 2004 to March 2005. We took in well over 200,000 different entries into the competition. We picked 10 models as winners. There's, I believe, four kids and 3 adults that actually won. 10 models won. We put them into 3 products. And the Lego Factory products themselves, they are sold on retail shelf or into what we call a shop at home. And the people who designed and actually won this competition win a 5% royalty into this product. So they are actually being part, and they get the payout. So it's not about getting labor for free and putting it back out. It's about how when they design and a model goes into a box, how do they get paid? And that's what we want to do. We want to move into these models of that the child's creativity also gets rewarded, the adult's creativity gets rewarded. And it's moving into that model. We're a platform that will allow kids, rather than play with Lego on the floor with a Lego by himself or herself, without being able to share. I don't know how many of you have played with Lego and how many times did you take it over to your friend's house when you were young? I don't think you did, because you didn't want to lose your Lego. But right now, you can take these electronic files, you can take the Lego models that you got, and you can send them to friends, you can send them back, you can say, hey, this is what I created, you can put it on Lego.com, you can show the world. 8 million people a month get to come and view that model on the shelf. That's pretty good notoriety. We get a lot of kids that write in and say, this is pretty cool. And it's just something right there. So it's not just for adults, it is for kids. And 2006, we kind of launched off, where right now, you can design a product. Any product you design, if there's elements within that palette of LED, you can order it, and you get exactly those elements that you used. And that model is delivered to your door. And you customize your box, and customize the print. It's all there. That's true co-creation. And when we see good models in there, you get a chance that we put that into a box and put it onto a shelf. So, and you'll be seeing many, many, many more things coming in the next couple of years that what's new, if you can think about it, eBay model. If you can think about it, kids, what they can do with their own shop, what they can do with their own models, things like that will be coming. And that's the play experience. Let them create, it's not Lego. This Lego factory is not Lego's factory, it's the consumer's factory. And that's where we want to go. So, that's kind of quick. Let's kind of round up here. Essentially 3 areas where in Lego Group we see. It's about feedback, recommendations. It's about innovation. It's about co-creation. There's anything that we've gotten within doing Lego Factory and the boxes that we put onto the shelf. A box takes somewhere around 18 months from the time we start doing a project to get it onto a shelf in Lego. You go the Lego Factory way, you go about 12 weeks. You can be from idea into the shelf. So that's quite a different leap because the model is designed. And if it's voted by many hundreds of thousands of fans and things that come, or to the people that come to the site, you got quite a bit of marketing material that product probably will sell. So you don't have any, what do you call it, products sitting around in the warehouse taking up costing and wearing it. Pallet places, there's a lot of things that you gain by doing this. So why do we create? Well, we have a community in Lego. We have about 2.5 million fans. They are in the community, they're registered in the community, we have data on that community. And they're kids, they're adults. They're mixed. We know they're out there, we know that they pay a lot of attention to Lego. There's some very, very extreme core fans. Back some years ago, we decided we want to break down the walls between us and the community. In Lego, it was called the shadow market. It was called, well, we don't want to pay attention, it's not really, it's the kids who buy, it's not the older adults. That community is very strong in voicing what they want and what they don't want. And they're also very active in creating some outstanding models that are just unbelievable, and there's a lot of creativity out there. So there's reasons for us to break down and start building bridges out to the community. If you look at some of the community projects that we do, this is called the Milliard Project. I don't know if you can really see this bottom project down this picture here, but it goes back a long ways. It's huge. It's millions of bricks put together, and it's many, many hours. This is a project that, when you look at this picture, who's who, half of it is Lego, half of it is the community. They come to volunteer to do preservation homes and things in the U.S. of old-time houses. They're not as old as Europe's got, but you know, this is projects that go on in the community here in Europe and also in the U.S. We have formal relationships with community that are ambassadors. These guys make a living with Lego. These guys create models, they create sculptures, they do all kinds of things with pure Lego. And these guys make a living. They're great ambassadors for a company. And they're also a great ambassador in getting the word out about what you can do with your product. Talk about making your product sound simple. These guys can do it. And it brings back the rejuvenation to younger generations to aspire to be somebody like this. When they can go on the Jay Leno show or David Letterman show in the US and actually come to millions of people and say, this is what I do with Lego. You can't buy that power. You can't buy that commercial. There's no way you can. And if he didn't have the chance and we didn't support him to co-create with us, we would not have that power. That's co-creation. That's the power to bring into your company. There's another thing here. This was the guy at Fire, but they get magazine covers. They get all kinds of things. They build PCs. They get all kinds of PC magazine from Wired to, we make all kinds of, what do you say, covers of magazines, but it's not Lego that makes it, it's our fans that make the cover. And that's the interesting thing, is that it's them that's making the covers of the magazine, and they really feel the power to do that. Networking. Lego fans, you can go into Google and you can set in Lego fans, Lego community, and you're going to get thousands of hits because they're out there, and there is all kinds of people. And they talk about Lego, they rag on us, and they talk positively about us. When we change color of a brick, when they've been saving a certain color of brick, they get very mad at us. When our quality starts to fall, they definitely let us know. When a product is launched that doesn't live up to their expectations, they definitely let us know. When we've done something very good, they're very good at applauding and telling us that we did very good. So it goes both ways. And I think it's you know, it's a thrill to work with these guys. They also do another thing. They publish a magazine. This is supported by them, a brick journal. It goes between 50 to 80,000 downloads every time they publish it. How do they do that? That is amazing. The power of the pen is still there. People download this, it's downloaded on the internet. But 50 to 80,000 people, that's a lot of people looking at news about bricks and the creativity of it. So there's really a strong backing between the fans and what they can do for Lego. And there's articles. This isn't just a thin newspaper. This is about 100 pages. So it's a lot of editorial, and it's free, and it's all volunteer that put this together. And when you look at it, it looks like a professional magazine. It's not cheaply done. These guys really do it. Meeting points. Lego puts a lot of effort into showing up at events that the fans put in. Down here, you know, you have Lego Grove. I don't know how many people have actually gone to that. But that's an event that gets about 40 to 50,000 people that come to it. If you look at Brickfest, that's in Washington, D.C. on a yearly basis in August, and it gets somewhere around, I think, about the same 40,000 people that come the weekend. Thousands Nine, it's also quite a big event. And there is hundreds of more events that Lego people do, that the community does. They show up in shopping malls, they set up big, large train displays, they show up in model displays. They brag all the time about what they can create with Lego, and they advertise it for free, but because they have a passion for the brand. They don't do it because they feel they owe the company something. That's the passion that they're showing off, that they have creativity. And if you just look at some of the events that they do, this is just the training community, and it's just kind of a view of what they put together. And if you look at, it's not just train tracks, but the large buildings, the complete setup. And there's millions and millions of bricks there. Meaning there's millions of hours of work that they've actually put into doing this. And they do this quite a bit. So why do we create? We've had a lot of different research done within Lego. And what does our consumer like to do? What is the best thing and what comes to them that was the most popular and what's the most important to a fan that they want to do? You look in the upper right-hand corner, can build anything, be creative, fun to build. They like to build with Lego. They want to be able to build anything. They like to buy the great models that are on the shelf from Lego. They like to see the big models, the small models, wherever they are. They build them, but they tear them apart. It goes into a box. A couple weeks later, the box comes back out again, and they build what they want to build. There's some that want to put the model, and put the model on the shelf, and it becomes dusty again. But that's what leads us to say, okay, what's the platform we need to give? What's the tools we need to give to support? They want to be creative, and they want to build anything. And that's where Lego Factory comes in. That's a tool for them that they can express their creativity and actually begin to build and develop their models and their business the way they see it. And this is just a little bit of creativity that we get back. We get thousands of pictures sent in to us every day. All kinds of them from around the world. Moms are very proud of their child, and the child is very proud of the model they got. 4 bricks can make an airplane, and that mom's going to brag about it. And we got to make sure that we give a little bit of press coverage to them that we're also proud of the kid because they did buy the product. Then we have the adult fans. They go extreme. And they want to compete against George Lucas. That's their dream. They want to go out and they want to make their own space adventure. And they really do. They have space themes that are unbelievable to go after. And this is just one out of hundreds of ships that they've got, and planets and everything else that they build. They go extreme. If you look at another reason why, since about 96, 97, we have seen that fans, this is a study that's been done within Copenhagen University and the adult fans of Lego. So a survey that's been done within about what they've contributed to Lego. If you look at the innovation and you look at the models and the creations that they've done because they've had a community to talk to. If you look back at this, internet became very popular around 95, 96. It was very, very stagnant. Maybe there's some years where Lego went on and tried to do things. But until the internet came, you know, the adults were kicking the Lego under the bed to make sure that nobody else was saying, oh God, that grown man is playing with Lego. They didn't know other people were out there. You know, they're kind of like this hidden in their closet type thing. But when the internet comes, it's like, hey, there's other people out there like me. And it just skyrocketed. And when these guys started to talk, and literally families started to talk to each other that they have interest in Lego. Universities started to talk between each other that they use Lego for education and things like that. You can look that it just skyrockets with innovation. It skyrockets with that they do many events, they contribute with products, they contribute with many, many ideas. And that's the innovation that we've been tracking for that one. And that's a contribution. There's many ideas out there. If you look at, do they coach each other? You and me from Copenhagen Business School did a survey within the adult fans, and it's about positively influence user level activity. And if you look at that, they very strongly agree the people who actually contribute and do this, they wouldn't be able to do it without having a community to work with. They need a community to work with to make this happen. It's not an individual. Innovation is not an individual we could say task to do. It's for the company to do, it's for the community to do. And if you look at this, user inspire one another. You can see strongly agree. They need to have that interaction between each other. And when you see a community that actually has that interaction, you have to try and reinforce that by supporting them. It's not about controlling the community, it's about supporting it and asking them very open questions. Say, what tools do you guys need in order to make your community work better? And that's where we support. If they want a building tool, we're going to give it to them. If they want other support, we're going to give it to them. If it can make them grow and be better, we'll definitely do it. And then, are they willing to share? This is something that's kind of growing over time, but you know, it's somewhat on our part. Yes, they're willing to share their ideas, but it's also about in a digital age. When somebody designs a Lego model, and somebody posts it onto the internet. Somebody downloads that picture, they change the color of one brick, they put it back up. Whose design is it? There's a lot of legal requirements behind that. How do you control whose design, who's got rights to what? So there's a lot of things to go in here about what are we going to do about us. And they actually, there's a lot of things about creativity and how the fans open up. And they are opening up more and more about, hey, it's a Lego model, we're out here to do it for Lego creativity. It's not about so much I own that design, because you can build it. There's probably people that build it 10 times over. So, but there's issues that you've got to try and discuss with the community and be open with them. How do we create? Mindstorms. A couple years ago, well, back in '96 when I did the first round of Mindstorms, we were pretty much locked into a room. We did 50 man-years of development. We'd come out with a yellow brick and said, this is Mindstorms, great. Put all that work into it. Less than a couple of weeks after launch, our fans reprogrammed everything. So why did we do all that work prior to, and then we launch it, and then it comes back different? So the second time around, we learned we didn't want to do something stupid again. So what we did is we said, okay, let's open up to the fans. And what we did is we opened up to 4, and then we opened up to 11. And this brought in people from the very, very beginning to bring in key ideas, software, programming, what would that see, Bluetooth, remote control, sensors of all different kinds, and sensor manufacturing, all kinds of ideas right up front. And then as we got farther into the process, we opened up to even more. And this makes the project successful because you get a lot of user feedback and a lot of creativity. They actually contributed in making sensors for the project. We probably don't think they got a lot of press coverage and everything's required. But if you look at these sensors, we have, you got to do your business proposal for what you want to do and how much you can contribute into a project for costs. You got your development costs, you got to stay within that frame. Well, we could put in 4 sensors before we said, well, okay, that's way more in the frame than we want to pay. But you know what? The fans said, hey, we'll develop even more sensors for you. We developed that.